Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what we're about to show you, no one has ever seen before. You ready for this? No, I'm just kidding. People have seen this before, but sometimes it's hard to figure out how to do it on your own without coming to a place like YouTube or whatever where somebody has documented it for you. So what we're going to show you today is how to take the headliner out of the inside of a Mazda Tribute. Okay, we're going to pull the whole headliner out, show you how to do it step by step. This is going to be a repair. This is a previously installed new headliner that has fallen. So we're going to find out whether it was faulty adhesive or if it was, that the material was stretched too tight and it broke loose because of that or whatever. But it wasn't installed too long ago, and now it's time to pull it back out, figure out what went wrong, and re-adhere the new headliner to the headliner board or surface or whatever you want to call that. Okay, so looking in the back of this, you can see here where the headliner has started to fall. And like I said before, it is new. However, the adhesive is, for some reason, has given away. And so we're going to go ahead and pull it out. But some of the things that you'll need to do is remove these panels where they meet the headliner. Remove those handles, these buttons. These are child seat attachments or cargo attachments, whatever. Some of them have plastic covers on them. The other ones don't. Anyhow, you're going to be pulling all of these off, and I'll show you how to do that. You're also going to be removing these seat belt attachments where they go in there as well. And in the front, you're going to be taking out your visors and the attachment here. These visors they have the light system inside. So up here, inside here, there's a electric wire. So you got to be careful, especially when you go to screw this back into the ceiling, that you're not screwing into that electric wire. Everything else is pretty cut and dry. You'll have to take off this ceiling light here as well, and I'll show you how to do that. Handles up here. You're going to take these, pop these plastic things out, and take these handles off as well in the front, just so that you can bring that panel down away from the headliner itself to pull it all out. And if you've never seen one before, it's basically just like a cardboard type material that's hardened a little bit with resin, and it has a foam lining with the fabric material attached to that foam. So you got the cardboard stuff, the foam, and then the fabric. And the foam and fabric come together when you buy the replacement, and that's what you'll be reinstalling after you've cleaned off your cardboard. If yours is bad, you'll have to take all the old degraded foam off of it so that the new foam will adhere to the actual headliner surface. Something you might want to do before you get started is go ahead and take those back seats and lay them down flat. You take the headrests off, lay it down like that, and that way you got a lot more room in there for you to move around and pull all the different parts down. Do the same thing on the other side. Everything's down flat, so now you got room to move around in here. Do what you need to do. If you just take a seat right in here like this, you can grab a hold of this rubber. Just pull it down, and that releases the edge of your headliner. Okay, so you want to do that wherever the rubber touches the headliner. Just pull it down just a little to get it out of the way. You may need to pull it down a little further to take off these side panels. Too easy. You want to make sure that you have yourself a plastic pry bar. It's a trim removal tool. Okay, that's going to come in handy for those little plastic screw covers that make the handles look nice. Like that. That's the one where plastic comes in handy because metal would probably tear this up. But plastic doesn't leave any scars on your other plastic pieces. Okay, and on these upper handles, these are pretty simple to pop out. Just like that, revealing the screw inside for you to take off this handle up here. We're going to do the same thing on that front one up there. Okay, these are going to pop off. Right here, these two little squares, there is, if you can see it right inside there, there are two little punched pieces of metal. See that one on the back? That goes right into that square. So when you put them on, they snap down onto those two black pieces of metal. Go to the other side, you slide right in, and all you're going to do is stick this in the back, pop out one side, go in and pop out the other side. Oh, that one fell back in. Really all you need is one, and you should be able to just wiggle it until the other one pops out. However, that one's giving me a hard time. Like that. It's not really going to hurt anything. Your plastic still in good shape, and it definitely didn't hurt the metal in the back. Okay, next, I'm going to show you how to take this off. This actually snaps in around these two buttons, and it snaps in right here on top on these two little teeth. If you can see that right there, there's two little teeth that grab a hold of this little ledge under here. Okay, and down here, there's a little hole in those two little teeth that grab this little thing. Okay, but the best way I've found to take this off, if it's pushed on all the way, is to squeeze these and get in here on the side of that until it pops out. That'll pop the top off. And then you just need to wiggle it a little bit and possibly get in there. You don't really have to, but this usually just pops off by now. There we go. So just messing around with that a little bit. I guess the best way would push up on that right there. If you can get into there, that'll release it. Okay, try this again on the other side. Squeeze, pry into the side here. That released the top part. And then get a little bit of leverage underneath here. Make sure you're squeezing on both sides so this little edge doesn't get caught on the backside. There we go. The way to get these off is because there are 3 push pins, 1, 2, and 3 on the inside of this. Push it to one side, that'll bring one off. Push it to the other side, and that'll bring the other. So that little notch is what I'm talking about. It goes on the edge of this metal. And so if there are 3 on there and you push away and pull that edge down and then bring it back and pull that edge down, the third one basically just falls off at that point. So we'll try that again. Push to one side, pull the edge down, and it came off already. But so you can see those 3 right there go right on 1, 2, 3 sides of that round piece. Point this out since I'm here. This wire should not be showing. It should have been tucked in and put away when the headliner was done the last time. So just little things to look for when you put yours back on. The T50 Torx bit is what you're going to need for these upper seat belt. There we go. These upper seat belt pieces to detach them from the sidewall here. Front handles on the windshield, you're going to need a 7mm socket 7 millimeter. And that's just going to take those right off. Okay. 1 and 2. And they shouldn't be that tight, but there you go. Those will come right off now. Okay, once you've got both of your handles removed, I just put all the handle parts up here on the dash. That way they don't get lost or moved around or anything, because when you pull out this headliner, it's going to go all the way out the back lift hatch back there. It's not going to go forward at all into the dash area. Now, what you want to do here is just pull these straight. That was easy. Just pull that straight back, and you got these little clips right here that pop right in. If you can see that, almost marry up to that little gap. It's going to go right in that hole. And same thing down here. Sorry, that one right there is going to go in that hole. And then you got down here, but I'm not going to pull this out all the way. Oh, I'll show you that right there. See that? This one has like a hook underneath it. That hook needs to come up and, oh, sorry, up and into the slot right there. So when you go to put this back, you're going to put it over and then slide it down in to that little notch. Okay, and then these two will pop in where they go, that one and that one. Okay, but you don't even need to take it all the way off. You just need to get it off of your headliner, so when you get ready to remove it, this isn't going to be in the way. Same thing over here with this one and all the way around. A little louder than expected. Sorry about that. And you don't need to do anything else with it. That screw won't fall out. All that piece is all together, all by itself. You just needed to remove it so that you could pop this panel away from the upper, where it touches the headliner. I know I just said that these screws won't come out. However, this one, right after I took it out, this slid off and I found it laying here, and the screw had fallen right down there on the floor and gotten lost. So I had to take a minute to figure out where it went. Anyhow, they're supposed to be on there, and this is supposed to be, I don't know, machine pushed or something down on, and to where that becomes one solid piece and it doesn't come off. And maybe there's supposed to be a lock washer or something right here. The other one doesn't move at all, and it's got a little piece of plastic there, so maybe that was the lock washer on that one. But nonetheless, I wanted to point this out in case you look down on yours and it's missing. So be careful when you take it out so that it doesn't fall and get lost. Okay, now that little piece above is a pesky little monster. So I wanted to show you this specifically because I popped the other side out and it flew across the car and went down in a crevice, and so I'll have to find it later. But it's, so when you're getting ready to do this, put your hand over it or whatever so that it doesn't go flying. You should just be able to push on one edge and it'll pop loose. But it's pretty hard plastic, and so is this. So as the pressure releases the little lip underneath, it likes to go flying. Through here is going to be a 10 millimeter, and pretty simple as well. Just get in there. And that's how you get that loose. And once again, oh, that came right off. Okay, good. I was going to say, once again, you can just leave this sitting here. All you needed to do was get the headliner out from behind it. But this one came right off, so. Okay, again, 10 millimeter socket. Come right out, and there goes the screw. Okay, this one came right off as well. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you thought this video was thorough enough and clear to follow. That'd be cool. Yep, see how that flew out of there? You just need to watch where they go when they fall out. Okay, this one's also going to be that same 10 millimeter that we used on the other one. Same thing here, you're just going to pull these back straight away from the wall, just like that. And again, you can choose to pull these off. This is going to be a little bit more difficult because it's actually connected to this lower piece. This upper handle above the rear, or the passenger door in the back, came out of these two holes here. That's going to be that same 7 millimeter socket, and the same thing on this side. These back panels are super easy. You put them on that way, you just get a good grip on them and they'll pop right out. So now they're away from your headliner. Now to get this light out up here, you're going to use your same tool and just get under it, pop it out like that, and then you can just disconnect your two wires and take the light right off of there. Now the main overhead dome light might be a little different. There we go. You don't need to go under the entire piece, just the clear plastic part, like that. So the main piece is still going to be there. You just need to pop off the cover, and then you're going to use a Phillips head screwdriver to pull the whole piece down. Okay, and just wiggle it, and it should pop right out. Hold on. There we go. And then you got that little white plug right there that you just unsnap that. Okay, just for the close-up, you can see this little bit right here. You need to push this tab in, and then that will slide out. So there, did you see it? And that should pop right out now. Okay, I want to show you what this looks like. This little button here. These are the buttons from the roof. They go in like, and they just hold this big open space back there. Keep it up nice and strong. Okay, so there's four of the, or actually five of these, and the way you get them out is taking your tool and just gently get underneath it and pry on it. It's got these little loose piece of plastic, these little ridges that try to grip, so you just got to pull it hard enough to pop them ridges loose, and that's how you get it down. You might have to work around in a circle and just kind of pry on it. There, it started to come out. Don't be afraid to like really give it a tug, because they're in there pretty good. Okay, so I didn't mention this already, but this is a 1/2 inch, and that's going to go right on there so you can get those down. That's what that looks like. And again, it shouldn't come apart. So those you don't have to be too careful with. Just remember there is a wire inside there, so after you've unscrewed that, it is going to be attached to a wire. That's just going to be a Phillips head screwdriver. And they don't just come straight out. You kind of have to wiggle them, and you'll see this start to come out at it. It's kind of at an angle, like an L shape. And once you get it down, you find this little lower part of the clip here, and that'll release the wire right out. It's exactly like that other clip I just showed you, where you push the little tab and then it'll slide out. This it's just another Phillips for this catch over here. You just need to wiggle it and it'll come out, and you can see how that goes in. It kind of wedges itself in there, and then when you put the screw in, these two things spread out up inside there. After all of that, you should be able to look all the way around the edges of your headliner and see that it's completely disconnected and there's nothing down the middle holding it in. And so it should be just as simple as pulling down on parts of it like this, and just, yep, I felt it break loose right there. Now you can see the whole thing is moving. So it's just a matter of carrying it out nice and gentle. If you're going to reuse the material that's on it like I am, then you just want to make sure it doesn't get caught anywhere and get ripped while you're pulling out the headliner. But it does come all the way out to the back, and then you can take it, lay it on a flat surface somewhere and work on it. Okay, figured I would go ahead and show you this anyway, because it does help, especially if it's giving you a problem just getting past some of these upper panels. But if you can get inside here, just grab behind it and pull. That'll break this lower part loose, and like I said before, right there you can see how they're connected in the back. So if you just pinch that and push on it, it should go through, and then you can just pop this piece right off. So it goes in that hole, and then it just sits along this ledge in that slit right there. But yeah, you can take that down, and now you see the whole thing is loose. It can come sliding right out of there. Ready to pull it out. So, as you can see, it's super light material, but got them repairs to do, so we get it glued back down and everything will work out. So, in my situation, we've got all this loose area underneath here that was becoming baggy and sagging down. Now, if yours is an older headliner that's gotten loose over time, when you open this up, this surface right here is going to look like that. This will look like that. Now this is the foam, but it'll be on here still, and the material like this right here will peel away from the foam, and the foam in here is going to be so deteriorated that it just crumbles when you brush it. But it's going to be so thick
with adhesive that getting off the rest of it is going to be extremely hard. So what you can do is get a wire brush and scrub it and scrub it and scrub it and scrub it until you get all the remaining loose pieces like this, loose pieces of the old foam, and get it off of there. Okay, and you're going to do that for the whole thing all the way down, because if you leave the old crumbled up foam on here and you put you spray your adhesive on and lay this back over, that old foam under there is going to be what gives away again, and then you'll have this saggy problem. Now what I've learned is that this sag here was not because of the foam, and it was not because of the adhesive, because you can hear the adhesive still wanting to stick. The problem is that this material was pulled so tight over here that it put pressure on this to come away in this whole seam over here, where the concave right there on the side and over here as well. So, but the areas where there was something holding it solid to the roof are still on there nice and tight. No issues with it coming loose around these areas. So whenever you put your new headliner on, you want to make sure and let your material lay as loosely as you can up there. I mean, obviously you want to make sure that you don't run out of material around the outside edge, but don't stretch it so tight that you have to press this down to get it to stick. So that's the answer there. If your material underneath looks like this, you're good to go ahead and spray your adhesive on and lay your new sheet on there. Now, of course, once you lay your new sheet, you're not going to have these holes cut out. So you're going to have to find, put your hand on here and find where the hole is, and then make your cuts so that you can open this up. These are generally like this, like a star pattern, or just two, or a triangle, or whatever. Now on this one, you're going to fold those underneath, these bigger ones. You can see that it was a triangle, just cut from the corners, from one corner to the other, from one corner to the other, and then you can fold back the material and make it look nice and clean on the underside.